Hello everyone, Kent Slauson here. I'm a realtor and general contractor in Grand Junction, Colorado, and I'm here with your market news for the week. Okay, let's jump into the economy. U.S. unemployment data beat expectations. We were expecting 215,000 jobless claims, but 193,000 were reported. And while fewer jobless claims sounds like good news, the stock market reacted negatively to this information. Remember, the 800-pound gorilla in the economy is inflation, and the Federal Reserve is actually looking to lower employment, which would lower spending and thus lower inflation. So, revised second quarter GDP was also released, and gross domestic product fell 0.6% as expected. This further signifies that the U.S. economy is in or near a recession. Lastly, the PCE index, which can be used to measure inflation, was released on Friday. The market was expecting core personal consumption expenditures, which exclude food and energy, to come in at a 0.5% monthly increase, and inflation came in hot at 0.6%. This produced yet another red day for the stock market. Speaking of stocks, the S&P 500 reached its lowest point of the year this week. Currently, this index is down a little over 24% this year. Let's look at real estate. Today we're going to dive into my local real estate market around Grand Junction, Colorado. Reviewing the Bray report from August, we can see that the housing inventory is rising but is still well below 2019 levels. Of course, median sales price is up compared to last year. What I find interesting is that by looking at months of inventory, we can see that homes are still selling in less than 3 months at most price points and at nearly 99% of list price on average. This tells me that although home prices locally may be experiencing slight devaluation compared to the highs of this spring and early summer season, we are certainly not experiencing a housing crash at this time. I expect we'll see a slowdown in real estate sales volume over the winter months, but this seasonality is typical in most real estate markets. Now I'd like to direct you potential buyers to a neat little tool. Over at NerdWallet, you can find something called a rent versus buy calculator. This will allow you to compare the cost of renting and purchasing so that you can make a determination on what makes the most financial sense for you. Okay, so jumping into this rent versus buy calculator. First, you're going to want to come over here to details and put in some of your criteria. I'm comparing the median sale price for homes in Grand Junction, $390,000, to what I predict a similar home would rent for. I'm guessing that's going to be around $1,850. Now, there are additional options here where you can really dive into this calculator and change property tax rates, homeowners insurance, expected gains on your cash if you were, to invest instead of buy, all those good details. But keeping it simple, let's just look at this $390,000 purchase versus the $1,850 rent. I have a 6% interest rate here and a 20% down payment. We can see that buying starts to make sense after year 5, the break-even point. And anything beyond that, you're going to be financially better off having bought, and anything prior to that, you're going to be financially better off having rented. Now, just changing a few things, like let's say instead of 20% down payment, we only put 10% down. Well, all of a sudden, that changes our break-even point all the way out to 9 years, and you should be asking yourself if you will be staying in the home for that duration of time. If instead we're putting 50% down, well, now that break-even point is about 5 years. So, these numbers are going to fluctuate, and you need to put the numbers in for your specific situation. But I find this to be a very informative tool, and I think you guys could benefit from it. I hope this information has been helpful. If you have any questions, send me a message or drop me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.